So good morning, students. Welcome back to the second semester first day session wherein we are going to discuss about the syllabus first. We all should have a proper understanding related to syllabus. So I must say that you people were very bold, very strong enough in taking up the session and the classes, as well as you have done, very few students have done excellently well in their exams. Rest others, to be very honest, I have seen that your efforts were not at all in sync with what you people were expected to do. So, to be very honest, मेहनत बहुत किया आप सबने, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है, लेकिन मेहनत को चैनलाइज नहीं किया. इसी कारण से कई स्टूडेंट्स के आंसर्स वे हया मैंने एक तरह से कुछ कनेक्ट ही नहीं ओहे वायोटेक एक चीज वो कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करना चाह रहे थे लेकिन वो इंफॉर्मेशन समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कैसे प्रेजेंट करना है कैसे उसे लिखना है. तो इन चीजों के ऊपर भी हमें खास ध्यान देना होगा. वी हैव टू सी कि अगर कल के दिन इसी तरह से एग्जाम्स होते रहे तो आप लोग ऑनलाइन मोड पर कैसे अच्छे से अच्छा स्कोर कर पाओगे. राइट. टाइम का भी लिमिट था तो टाइम लिमिट में कई सारे स्टूडेंट्स नहीं कर पाए. कईयों का ये स्टूपिड एक्सक्यूज था कि मैम नेटवर्क का प्रॉब्लम है. आप जब ईमेल कर सकते हैं, जब आप हर चीज को देख रहे हैं, मैं आपके लॉग को देख रही हूँ, आपका लॉग ऑडिट लॉग कॉलेज का आईएसएम पटना से जो भी जितने भी स्टूडेंट लॉग इन करते हैं तो उनका जब तक इंटरनेट चलता रहता है तब तक मैं उसे एक्सेस कर सकती हूँ. तो ये सारा चीज मेरे एक्सेस में था, आपका इंटरनेट भी चल रहा था, लेकिन आप लोग जो एक्सक्यूज देते हैं कि इंटरनेट में इश्यू है जिसके कारण से हम नहीं सबमिट कर पाए, तो अब से ये गलती नहीं होना चाहिए. आप लोगों को याद रखना है आपको ऑफिशियल ईमेल एड्रेस इसीलिए दिया गया है क्योंकि हम अपने सर्वर पर आपके ईमेल आईडी को टैप कर सकते हैं. कितने बार आपका कनेक्शन में प्रॉब्लम होता है ये भी हम जानते हैं, कहां पर प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ ये भी हम लोगों को पता है. तो इसीलिए ये एक्सक्यूजेस टेक्नोलॉजी के इस युग में देना बहुत गलत बात. तो आप सबसे अब रिक्वेस्ट है अभी से अपने नखल्स को टाइट कीजिए. ट्राई टू पुल योर सॉक्स, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट a year is going to pass by very soon. In the month of July and August, you people are going to appear for your second semester exams. So I'm telling you, you will be given only 2.5 or maximum 3 months time to finish your second semester. So you should be on your toes every now and then. All the notes that I'm going to share, all the piece of information that I'm going to convey via classes, each and everything should be properly understood by each one of you. अगर doubts होता है, you should let us know immediately. All right, dear. Don't give excuses. If you are a true learner, doubts would be there. So come up with your doubt, clear your doubts, and overcome your inefficiency or ignorance and try to enrich your knowledge. So with this particular note, I would like to welcome each one of you on this first session of Business English. Remember, till the first semester, the syllabus or the paper that was dealt was called as Communicative English. And in this particular semester, you people are going to name it as Business English because most of the things that you people are going to read would be from the perspective of the business. So when we say from the perspective of the business, we should know that vocabulary matters a lot. So generally there are certain vocabularies where there can be some sort of confusion. Say for example, IT apostrophe S, ITS. It's and its pronunciation may remain same, but the meaning will be totally different. When you are writing IT apostrophe S, it says it is. But when we are talking about ITS without an apostrophe, that is a reflexive pronoun. So therefore, it is going to reflect upon some object. So similarly, then, than, THEN, then, THAN, than. Now, both words are used regularly in our day-to-day life, and both of these two words have different meanings. So whenever we are talking about the clauses, when there is a condition in a statement, we use if and then. But when we are talking about a comparison or whenever we are making any kind of comparison between the words, then we use THAN, than. He is taller than me. She is shorter than him. So please remember, there are not many confusing words that as a manager you should keep in your mind, because when you're writing, while writing English, you cannot commit mistake. As a businessman or as an entrepreneur or as an employee, you cannot commit mistake, because if you commit mistake, it will reflect your institution. It is going to show what kind of organization you are working with. So therefore, no spelling errors. And that is the reason why there is a good deal of emphasis which is put on the confusing words. Then comes the next one word substitution. Having wordy, lengthy sentences instead of having too long sentences, it is always advised to use one word substitution. So we are going to revise each one word substitution. What does it mean? What is the right pronunciation? And then how do we apply in our day-to-day life? Then we are also going to read and revise certain phrases and idioms which are part and parcel of your syllabus. This is chapter number 1. Chapter 2 deals with advanced reading. In this particular chapter, we are going to we are going to go for a book reading. I'm going to share you the soft copy of the book. This book is written by Dr. Spencer Johnson, and this is a very thin book, which is of only 90 pages. Believe me or not, this book is read not only in India but also at Harvard Business School, where the students are pursuing their BBA or MBA program. And then how this thin book can bring a lots of change in our life, because this book deals about change management. And as a student, you all have seen last year during pandemic, you people have taken admission, you started online classes, then you entered into offline mode. Again, we are on online mode. So there is lots of problem that is going on in our life because of pandemic. But still, we did not keep quiet. We are overcoming all sorts of changes so that we can give a good show. We can present our good so that we can enrich our knowledge and skills. We can get the degree, we can earn the degree, and then proceed ahead for a better career, for a better future. So everybody needs to apply change. So how do we apply change? What is the simple theory behind applying change? That is dealt in this particular book, which is written by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And the name of the book is Who Moved My Cheese? Now, after reading this book, we are going to take up certain activities, and based on the activities, we are going to understand how the information can be presented infographically. Now, whenever we use the word infographic, I have already expressed and explained in my previous classes what infographics are. So to give you a quick glimpse, how do we use tables? How do we use charts? How do we use diagrams? How do we use graph? So by adding all these, how can we enrich our presentation? So we are going to emphasize more on the presentation skills so that in future, you people are very well prepared, even when you are giving your interviews, not only for your higher education, even for the job perspective. Then chapter number 3 deals with effective writing. Now, in this, everything that you have dealt in your first semester, right from grammar to composition, article, like everything, every kind of writing. You talk about the letters, you talk about memo, agenda, notice, minutes of meeting, proposal writing, report writing, composition writing, summary writing, everything is included in chapter number 3. So we are going to once again revise all those that were dealt, that were shared with you people in your second semester, so that you have a good command over writing skills. And then we are also going to understand how and why one should improve their writing skills, because writing skills are part and parcel of business people. You need to understand whatever you are trying to express. If you cannot write, how are you going to explain it to others? Every time you will not be given an opportunity to speak face to face. हर बार ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि आपको मौका दिया जाए कि आप सामने वाले व्यक्ति से समय लें, बात करें, बातों से उनको समझाएं और बातों से उनको ये बताए और जताए कि क्या जरूरी है और क्या जरूरी नहीं है. So what is it that you have to do? You have to improve your writing skills. So equal emphasis should be given on your writing skills. And if you remember, section A, we started writing every day. Now, I want the same thing to be applied when you are at home every day, be it a student of section A or section B. Each of you will write one single page, but this time the topic will be mailed by me. The topics would be mailed by me. The information would be mailed by me. You need to just copy it. Now, when you are copying it, trust me, I assure that the information that I'm going to share will be something which is very interesting. Could be something related to knowledge, what actually a manager should have, or maybe related to the latest current affairs that are again part and parcel of our life. We have to work out on that. So, chapter 3 deals with complete topics related to enhancing your writing skills. Of course, in these you will see a couple of new things. The first one is note making and note taking. So I know that you people have already done note making and note taking if you have studied under CBSE syllabus. In class 11th, that is a prescribed syllabus of how do we take up the notes, how do we write the notes, what are the ways of taking up the notes, and then what are the uses of mind mapping. All right. Yes, dear. Only note making. Note making itself is called as note taking here. Now, please remember, whenever you are making notes, right, you listen to someone and then only you will be able to take up the notes, isn't it? Yeah. So therefore, when you are listening to someone, how do you write the important points? How do you jot down the key points? How do you scribble the keywords? So that is called as note taking. And after taking the notes, then only you can create your notes, right? So note taking and note making, they are a process in which there is a continuation here. All right. So I'm going to explain about note making and note taking in detail, Prerna. All right. I am just delivering about the syllabus. We are going to have a detailed discussion about each and every topic once again. All right, so that students will have clarity, and I want you all to write every day. As I said, I'm reiterating this. Then chapter number 4 deals with business etiquette. As I said, this is business English, and in business English you all are going to deal with businessmen. Now in business, whenever we talk about business is dealt with the people. Now without people you cannot do business. So when we talk about the people, how do we manage people? We manage people by writing letters. We manage people by writing emails. We manage people by sending lots and lots of information, maybe telephonic, maybe through video, maybe through email. So what are the etiquette that we have to follow? Say for example, how do we follow the telephonic etiquette? How do we follow the email etiquette? How do we follow the meeting etiquette? How do we follow the letter writing etiquette? How do we share the business letters or business card? What are the etiquette that we have to follow when we are in a dinner room, or when we are in the meeting room, when we are in toilet? So everywhere there is some mannerism, and that mannerism should be known to each and every one of the student who are pursuing their BBA course. So business etiquette is part of your syllabus. Impromptu speech, if you remember, we did that speeches are of 4 types. The first, impromptu, wherein you will be given no time, on the spur of time. जैसे ही टॉपिक मिला, आपके दिमाग में जितना भी इंफॉर्मेशन से रिलेटेड या उस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर्ड है, कंटेंट आपके दिमाग में है, आप उसे डिलीवर करते हैं. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इम्प्रॉम्प्टू. टाइम दिया जाए जहां पर आप प्रिपेयर कर बिना देखे बोल सके, एक्सटेम्पोर. अगर आपको किसी तरह की रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिया जाए, रोल प्ले करने के लिए कहा जाए, देन इट विल बी रोल प्ले. एंड फाइनली मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट, जब आप किसी टॉपिक को देखकर डिलीवर करते हैं, that is called as manuscript. So we are going to talk a lot about that. And then presentation, as I said, this is key. Now as a student of BBA, you all should work out on your presentation skill. Not only how to prepare presentation, PowerPoint presentation is an aid. Of course, you all should know how to create good presentation. But apart from making good presentation, how do we deliver good presentation? This is again very, very important, and we are going to deal with it. Then the last chapter talks about listening skills. Here we are going to do regularly certain activities based on the topic that I'm going to give, and a lot of video will be developed by you all. And please remember, unlike first semester, don't give that stupid excuse that, ma'am, I cannot do. Because now you are already trained, tuned. I have seen you people, how smart you people are, how intelligent you people are, how knowledgeable you people are. The only thing is you need to manage your time even at home. So therefore, the listening activities that we are going to do will be part and parcel of our syllabus, and based on that your scores would be given. So that is the final chapter of our syllabus, and if you see, the syllabus is absolutely easy, good to score for all those who are going to revise. अगर आप रिवीजन करते हैं, हर दिन जो आपको बताया जा रहा है, अगर आप उसे रिवाइज कर ले तो आपके लिए इजी हो जाता है स्कोर करना. आउट ऑफ 60 यू कैन स्कोर वेरी इजीली लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ स्कोर. अगर आप चाह रहे हैं तो उसके लिए जैसे कहा है मैम ने, हर दिन एक पेज लिखा करें. जैसे आज से ही मैं देने जा रही हूँ एक्टिविटी, मैं आपको टॉपिक दूंगी, टॉपिक का मटेरियल भी देने वाली हूँ, बस आपको उसे लिखना है. लिखते समय 3 चीजों को ध्यान में रखेंगे. आप लिख रहे हैं तो कितना टाइम लगा आपको उस पॉइंट को, उस टॉपिक को लिखने में, देखकर लिखने में आपको कितना समय लगा. Was that a minute? Was that 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? How much time did you take? Underline the tough words. I repeat, underline the new words, the tough words, and then look for its meaning from dictionary so that you can utilize it in your day-to-day life. And finally, I don't understand, Prerna, that why are you in a hurry to talk about role plays and all? Okay, so wait dear, today is our first session, not the last session, so have calm. There are and role plays were already being told and taught. So this again shows that you people did not do any revision. So we were fools in creating the videos. We developed the video lectures. We have shared the video lectures with you all. We have shared the link of those video lectures. But hardly any one of you during the time of preparation, that is from 7th of April to 20th of April, hardly a student might have gone through those videos. So this shows how careless you people are, how like callous your approach is. So that should be avoided, that should be eliminated. All right, so we are going to start with chapter number 1, wherein we are going to talk about expressing in style. Now in expressing in style, we should remember, what are we going to express? Exactly what we are being asked and informed. Now when someone says expressing in style, what does it mean? We should remember that expressing in style starts with the figure of speech. That is again very, very important. What do we understand with the term figure of speech and how it is going to help us, that we are going to deal in today's class. So I'll give you a brief of what we are supposed to do in this particular chapter. We are going to start with figure of speeches. How many of you have learned about the different figure of speeches? Quickly in the chat box, how many of you have studied about the figures of speech? All right, let me give you a quick glance of what actually the figure of speech is. How many of you have studied about metaphor, simile? Metaphor, simile. Quickly, yes or no, or I? Quickly, dear. So Megha says yes, she did. Tanya again says yes, she did. So yes. So in case if you did not, no worries at all. But we are going to explain each and of these things once again. But how is it possible that you people are saying no if you have studied in BSEB board? There was something which is called as simile and metaphor. All right, you may not be remembering now, Ananta, no problem. No worries. So when we talk about figures of speech, we need to understand figures of speech are those which talks about the information in a different way. Say for example, whenever we are comparing someone, how many of you are being compared? Your activities are compared by your parents to an animal. Uh, Generally, they say that look at him, he's jumping like a monkey. Have you heard anything like this? क्या कभी पेरेंट्स ने आपका कंपैरिजन किसी के साथ किया हो? अ, तान्या की मम्मी हर दिन कर रही है, why beta, are you really troublesome? So what I'm trying to say is, please remember, many times, yes, Ananta. So what I see is, often we are compared with some or the other animal. Sometimes we may be very good, sometimes we are very rude, sometimes we are very angry, sometimes we are very dull. So they compare us, isn't it? That comparison, when it happens directly, that is called as simile. When it happens indirectly, that is called as metaphor. So there are different figures of speech. We are going to learn about each and every figure of speech in our first chapter. And in today's class, we are going to deal with three of them. We are going to discuss the first three. So let us understand first what figure of speech is and how it is important in our life. So when we talk about figure of speech, let us understand that figures of speech, there is a definition of it. Now, when we talk about the definition, it literally means a common language that is used, but in this common language, you will see that we are using certain unusual. That means which we do not use in our day-to-day life. Say, for example, when you are naughty, your parent may say, you are very notorious, you are very naughty. But rarely they may say that, look at his activity. He's making nuisance like so and so animal or so and so object. All right. Now somebody sleeps though, so you must have seen there is no movement when people sleep, and they sleep like dead log, right? बड़ा सा जो लकड़ी होता है, लकड़ी को जैसे कुछ भी हो जाए, कितना भी कोई भी हिलाना चाहे ना हिल पाता है, और वैसे का वैसे सोया हुआ है, तब हम कहते हैं उसे डेड लॉग. सो ही स्लीपिंग लाइक अ डेड लॉग. तो ये सारे जो हैं, ये कॉमन लैंग्वेज में थोड़ा सा बदलाव आप हर दिन अपने घर में किसी न किसी को प्रोवर्ब्स यूज करते हुए देखे होंगे. कई जगह पर कहावत कहा जाता है, कई जगह पर कोटेशंस मार्क किए जाते हैं, कई जगह पर चीजों के साथ आपका तुलना किया जाता है, जिसे आप तुलना कहा करते थे, तुलनात्मक भाव, and so many things that you people have studied in vernacular language. Probably in Hindi and Hindi grammar you must have studied all these things. तो ये याद रखना है, फिगर्स जो है ये सारे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. जो हम लिखेंगे, जो हम प्रेजेंट करेंगे, प्रेजेंटेशन को थोड़ा सा मॉडिफाई कर उसे अट्रैक्टिव बनाने के लिए फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच का यूज किया जाता है. आई रिपीट, फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच हम इसलिए यूज कर रहे हैं ताकि हमारा जो राइटिंग एबिलिटी है, हम अपनी उस एबिलिटी को थोड़ा सा शाइन करें, थोड़ा सा पॉलिश करें, ताकि लोग हमारे लिखे हुए चीजों को और मजे से पढ़ सके. जैसे आप लोगों को किसी भी कंपटीशन में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए कहा जाता है या एंकर करने के लिए कहा जाता है. आपने देखा होगा कई बार जब कोई भी एंकर करता है तो कोटेशंस बोलता है या स्टोरीज बोलते हैं, या कई बार किसी की कविताएं बोलते हैं, शेर और शायरी होता है. व्हाई डू दे यूज ऑल दिस? क्विकली इन द चैट बॉक्स, व्हाई डू दे यूज ऑल दिस? They want to pass the time of the audience. They want to kill your precious time. Why are they using all these poems, quotations, okay, to make it more interesting? Yes, Ananta, make people, and yeah, of course, Shantanu, make them enjoy the event. Effective representation, yes, for gaining the attention of the audience, rightly stated, Aradhana. So in order to grab the attention, we use all these in while speaking. Similarly, while writing, can we grab the attention? While writing, of course, we can grab attention by using the expressions, different expressions in style. All right. And that is the reason why our first chapter talks about one word substitution, idioms, phrases, and figures of speech. All right. So let us move ahead. I hope everybody could understand. Whenever we are writing, instead of using the usual phrase, the usual frame of sentence, what we do, we change the mechanic of presentation of the sentence. Mechanics का मतलब होता है जिसे बोलना है उसे थोड़ा सा ब्यूटिफाई करते हुए हम उस चीज को प्रेजेंट करते हैं ताकि लोगों को पढ़ने में उसे मजा आए. तो इसीलिए फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच का यूज किया जाता है. So when we talk about the figures of speech, they are broadly classified into two categories here. The first one, figures of speech that play with the ordinary meaning of words. जैसे as it is, आप word को पढ़ोगे, word को थोड़ा सा समझोगे तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि यहाँ पर किस तरह का figure of speech का यूज किया गया है. हाँ, उसके लिए figures of speech के बारे में जानकारी होना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, and that we are going to learn. आप लोग आने वाले क्लासेस में आप जो सीखेंगे वो पूरा का पूरा फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच, अलग अलग फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच और एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ बताऊंगी ताकि आप लोग और भी अच्छे से समझ सको. और हर दिन आपको 10 एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ मैं जो शेयर कर रही हूँ वही लिखेंगे ताकि आप लोगों का नॉलेज जो है और भी शार्पन होते जाए. तो ये याद रखिए, जब वर्ड्स को देखकर आप समझ जाते हैं कि यहाँ पर किस तरह का फिगर ऑफ स्पीच यूज किया गया है, उसे ट्रोफ कहा गया है. और जो स्पीच है, जो ऑर्डिनरी सेंटेंस है लेकिन उसके पैटर्न को बदल दिया जाए. पैटर्न का मतलब होता है जहां पर जो सेंटेंस का स्ट्रक्चर है उस सेंटेंस के स्ट्रक्चर को थोड़ा सा अगर बदल दिया जाए, वर्ड्स को हेर फेर कर दिया जाए या स्टेटमेंट्स को हेर फेर कर दिया जाए, देन दैट इज अगेन अनदर काइंड ऑफ figures of speech that is called as schema. All right. So we need to understand that there are two different ways of presenting the figures of speech. पहला, word से हम sentence pattern वही रहेगा लेकिन words इसमें क्या होंगे, identifiable होंगे. आप उसे properly identify कर कर बता सकते हैं कि इसमें किस तरह का figures of speech use किया. अगर कोई word और वर्ड के कारण से आपको फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच पता चलता है तो वो ट्रोफ कहलाता है. TROPHE, ये याद रखना है. ठीक है, ये ट्रोफ कहलाया. देन दी सेकेंड वन, जहां पर सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर को बदला गया, सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर को बदलकर और आपने पैटर्न बदला है सेंटेंस के फॉर्मेशन का, तब उसे स्कीम कहा गया. ट्रोप्स एंड स्कीम. All right, so keep these two words in your mind. So let me write these two words in the chat so that you can understand. The first type is called as tropes and the second type is called as schemes. So in tropes we use words, and in scheme what we do is we change the pattern of the sentence structure. All right, so there are different figures of speech. And for BBA students, commonly, there are 17 different figures of speech that you all should learn, must know how to utilize, because whenever you are going to have a bright career in future, people would expect you to use good language. And if you really enhance your writing skills, writing abilities, certainly it is going to fetch you good name. So we should practice these things. So when we proceed ahead, so in today's class, the first thing that we are going to focus on is related to the first figures of speech, that is metaphor. Now you can see here, the definition is very clear. It says that metaphor is that part of or that figure of speech wherein you are doing comparison. You are making comparison between two unrelated things. You have to highlight this particular word. You need to understand that unrelated is the key word over here. All right, comparison between two unrelated things, only then you can call it as a metaphor. Please remember this definition, because in exams they have generally, most of the time they have asked it. So a metaphor is that figure of speech wherein the comparison is done between two unrelated things by stating one thing with that of other. That means one object compared with the another object, even though the literal meaning may be totally different. Literal means, say for example, you can look here, the example. It's raining cats and dogs. You must have heard this. कहीं ना कहीं आपने पढ़ा होगा, सुना होगा. It's raining cats and dogs. इससे मेटाफर क्यों कहा गया? क्योंकि आप जब लिटरल मीनिंग, लिटरल का मतलब होता है जहां पर आप वर्ड का मीनिंग खोजोगे. कैट बिल्लियों के लिए यूज किया गया है, डॉग्स कुत्तों के लिए किया गया है. एंड इट्स रेनिंग, कैसे हो सकता है कि बारिश जब होता है तो क्या बारिश होते समय क्या बिल्ली और कुत्ते आसमान से टपक रहे होते हैं? नो. What does it mean? It says that heavy raindrops are falling, and the sound is so heavier, so loud. You used a phrase which says cats and dogs, right? It's raining cats and dogs. तो अगर आप कह रहे हैं it's raining cats and dogs, what are you using? You are using it as a metaphor. All right. So keep these information in your mind whenever unrelated things, literal meaning उसका कुछ अलग हो सकता है, लेकिन जब हम कंपेयर करें, तुलनात्मक कंपैरिजन हो रही है, तो अनरिलेटेड ऑब्जेक्ट्स, अनरिलेटेड थिंग्स के साथ जब हम शेयर करते हैं, कंपेयर करते हैं, तो उसे मेटाफर कहा जाता है. I'll be sharing 10 examples of metaphor that you people have to read, and 10 examples of next figures of speech that I'm going to explain you right now, so that you should have clarity related to what I'm trying to explain. And in case if you have any doubt, please come up with your doubt tomorrow. All right, yeah. So the first one is metaphor. ये हमेशा याद रखना है. मेटाफर क्या होता है? एक बहुत सिंपल सा एग्जाम्पल. हम जब अनरिलेटेड ऑब्जेक्ट्स को कंपेयर करते हुए प्रेजेंट करते हैं, ठीक है? अनरिलेटेड ऑब्जेक्ट्स, अनरिलेटेड थिंग्स. लिटरल मीनिंग, लिटरल का मतलब होता है जैसे वो लिखा हुआ है, जो लिखित तौर से बताया जा रहा है उसका मीनिंग कुछ और हो सकता है, लेकिन जो प्रेजेंटेशन है उसका मीनिंग का जो संदर्भ है और मीनिंग का जो उस वर्ड्स के जो मीनिंग डिलीवर हो रहे हैं, दैट इज टोटली डिफरेंट. दैट वी कॉल इट एज मेटाफर. द नेक्स्ट वन इज वेरी similar to metaphor, but as this is exactly what you are trying to explain, that is similar to, same, alike, no difference, and we call it as simile. A simile is exactly like a metaphor, but in metaphor, remember the keyword unrelated things, whereas here we are going to compare the objects, but the comparison will be used to show how much likeliness they have, how much look-alike they have, how much similarities there are there. So therefore, अगर similarity है और directly किसी चीज को represent किया जा रहा है, तो उसे simile कहा. Indirect comparison और indirect representation है, तो उसे metaphor कहा गया है. All right, repeat. Indirect होगा comparison, metaphor. Direct comparison, simile. ये बस ये दो brief phrases आपको याद रखना है. Indirect comparison, metaphor. Direct comparison, simile. For example, he is as tall as Qutub Minar. Now you are comparing, you know that he is tall, but with what you have compared? You have compared him with another object which is again too tall. So therefore there is a direct comparison of a person with that of the object. Now another example of metaphor. She is as fierce as a tiger. Her roar was scary. Or when people heard the tigress roared, they kept quiet. So people, when they heard her roaring like tigress, they all kept quiet. Now it doesn't mean that the tigress entered into her body or she turned into a tigress. All right. You have to remember it's an unrelated object, but what was her action? Her action was like the tigress. Her roar was like the tigress. And that is the reason why when people were sharing or when people were explaining, they said that her roar was like the tigress. I hope everybody could understand the difference between metaphor and simile. Simile, direct comparison. Metaphor, indirect comparison. Quickly in statements को लिखिए बेटा. Metaphor, ये पूरा लिखना. Metaphor dash indirect comparison. Simile dash direct comparison. इसे नोट कर लीजिए. If you are writing these two statements, it will give you a absolute clarity. How do we understand whether it is a metaphor or a simile? All right. Very good, Ananta. Thanks, Megha. It's metaphor here, right? Okay. So when we are talking about metaphor and simile, I'm going to end up with the third one, which is called as oxymoron. Now, oxymoron is something like pair of contradictory words. All right. दो words है और दोनों एक दूसरे के विपरीतार्थक जैसे भाव दिखाते हैं. विपरीतार्थक भाव दिखाने वाले शब्दों को oxymoron कहा गया है. Now, they may express complex meaning or they may express some new meaning, but the feeling, the emotions that are being expressed are totally different. You can see here the phrase sweet sorrow. Can sorrow be sweet? Can pain be sweet? Not possible, isn't it? इस तरह से जहां पर कॉम्प्लेक्स मीनिंग को या कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी ये वर्ड यूज करना है. कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट का मतलब होता है विपरीतार्थ. So whenever there is a contradictory word which is used in the phrase and which delivers some other complex meaning, we call it as oxymoron. All right. So please remember, oxymorons are those wherein we are talking about contradictory words. So जैसे कई बार आप लोगों ने कहा होगा तिल का तार बनाना, राई का पहाड़ बनाना. Have you heard these phrases or these proverbs anytime? When you are using these phrases, you must have seen that, is it really possible? Is it possible to place cumin seeds or even the mustard seeds on one onto the other? क्या आप mustard seeds का पहाड़ बना सकते हैं? Not possible, isn't it? But still we use it. So such exaggeration, such kind of statements are called as oxymoron. All right, dear. So that is beyond our imagination, beyond our expectation. So there are the first three that I have discussed in today's class. The first one is metaphor, indirect comparison. Second is simile, direct comparison. And third is oxymoron. What am I going to do is, I'm going to give 10 different examples. I'm going to share it in the form of notes, but my notes would be shared only on your class code. It won't be emailed. तो आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है, ईमेल मैं वही करूंगी जो आपको लिखना है. नोट्स आपको जो भी चाहिए वो आपके क्लास कोड पर अवेलेबल होगा. आपका जो क्लास कोड है मैं उसका कोड यहाँ पर टाइप कर देती हूँ ताकि आपको दिक्कत ना हो. आप क्लास कोड के लिंक को ज्वाइन कीजिए. मैंने ईमेल कर दिया है सभी को, लिंक भी आप सबको शेयर भी किया है. आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप इसे जरूर ज्वाइन कर लें. ठीक है. Here I post the information. This is the class code. Do join it. And here is the attendance link. In next 2 minutes time, I'm going to close the attendance link. I see 58 students. I will be marking only 58 students their attendance. All right, dear. So I wish you all, I hope everybody started understanding the importance of writing now. बेटा पहले सेमेस्टर में बहुत ज्यादा चैलेंजेस था। अब इस सेमेस्टर से आप ये नहीं कहेंगे कि मुझे ये चैलेंज फेस करना पड़ेगा या पड़ रहा है. We have to overcome those challenges because we all are going to slowly and steadily enter into our professional life very soon. See, a year is passed away. In 3 months' time, by August, you're going to finish your second semester. By September, you are going to enter your third semester. You have to rush. And in order to have a bright understanding and career, you all will have to work hard. So that's all in my first day's class. I hope everybody could understand about the three different figures of speech: metaphor, simile, and oxymoron. Tomorrow we are going to come up with more number of figures of speech with great explanation from my side. Thank you very much. Take care and have
Thank
a
you.
fantastic day.
Ma'am.
Maintain safety precautions and measures. Do not come out of your home unnecessarily. Do take care of your family and yourself. God bless you all.